your Caleb countdown. You're very excited about that, aren't you?
Excited.
I'm getting a little too cocky, boys. I'm not going to lie. I'm starting to tell people, like last night, someone was like, you can't talk about sports. You're a Bears fan. I was like, you got 2 more days, buddy. 2 more days.
That's right.
And everything's changing.
What is your expectation for Caleb Williams as a rookie?
Well, let me answer your question with a date that I already have scheduled. This is a terrible thing to say out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud. I was thinking today that after the Super Bowl, after Caleb Williams wins the Super Bowl this year, I'm going to call it Bookmark Tuesday, where I'm just going to spend all day just quote tweeting everyone who said that he's not going to be a good quarterback. What do you guys think?
I love it. So you're already bookmarking these tweets that you get?
I'm not going to do sweeps. That's too expensive. Come on. Actually, maybe if I do a future on the Bears, maybe I'll do a sweep. Maybe we'll all go on a sweep. But I'm excited. I know that it's I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but what can I say? I'm excited. I can't wait to get him in the building. I can't wait to see what we do at 9. This is a fun, exciting draft. It's hopefully the last time we're picking at 1 forever.
Oh, good.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Did you watch him do the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark?
I didn't. What did he say? Whatever he said, I loved it.
It was an hour and 15 minutes. You have to lather yourself in it because I thoroughly enjoyed it.
You lathered?
Lathered in just football. Like, he is football first guy. And
wiped himself down with a little football cologne.
Yes. I mean,
love that.
none of it will matter if he's got to be good. And I think we all believe he's going to be good. But like anyone, I said, watch it for yourself, come away with your own opinion. But I believe if you really do watch it with an open mind, any concerns that you've had about him being a diva or being like a guy who doesn't value football, those concerns will go away after watching this in-depth conversation with him, with Ryan Clark, and Fred Taylor's on it, and Channing Crowder.
I love it. I'm just so excited. What do you guys want to do at 9? What should we do at 9? We have, we can do whatever we want at 9, but what should we do at 9?
I want a difference maker. I want a blue chip player. I'm not interested in trading out unless something weird happens. So I want one of the receivers. That would be my preference.
What if the Commanders said they want to trade up and they were like, "Hey, we got the 36th and 40th pick. Your 40th pick."
You know what? Just stifle, will you? I'm not going to do
saying.
that.
Why wouldn't they do that? They also need to bolster their line and fill a bunch of holes.
Time out. Are you offering a trade for the first overall selection? Is that what you just said?
No, the 9th pick.
Oh, the ninth pick. No, I don't want to move out of it.
No. You got to get another star player at 9, don't you?
Okay, but so what? All right, so Thursday night, 9th pick comes up, and then it comes across the ticker. The Chicago Bears have traded the 9th overall pick for the 36th and 40th in this draft. You're upset?
Yeah, I think so.
With how deep this wide receiver class is?
But do you have faith that polls can identify one of the depth wide receivers?
Okay, fair point, fair counterpoint. We talked about it last week. We need Phil Emery to come through that door for a brief stint.
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Fair point.
I mean, look, would I be upset? I don't know. Right now, I'm running on a pretty heavy feelings of I'm going to trust the GM, but my preference would be to stay at 9 and get a difference maker. Because look, Big Cat, if in fact there's a run on quarterbacks, which I know we all hope happens, and there's a good chance that it will happen, you're picking 5th. So there'll be 3 receivers available. There'll be an offensive lineman who everyone believes is a generational left tackle and all. And then you have your choice of pass rushers. So, if that happens, if they go quarterback, I would prefer that they stay where they are at 9 and find someone that could be a rookie of the year candidate himself.
Okay. I am in trust polls mode, so
okay.
But I mean, listen, if they take a wide receiver, an offensive lineman, I'll be very excited because that's really what it all comes down to is whatever the best path to help Caleb Williams. That's all I care about. Defense, I understand you still got to have add a couple pieces, but that might be next year's draft and free agency. Let's get it as set as it could possibly be for Caleb Williams on Thursday night.
Let me play you this. Ryan Poles spoke today, Ian Cunningham too. the two guys in charge of the draft, along with their scouts. And they talked about, and Poles, Big Cat, that he's not scared to sort of tell people what he's thinking. He's not keeping all secrets. When he's thinking about trading Justin Fields, he'll tell you, we've got to do right by Justin. Last year, when he was thinking about trading the number 1 pick, he'll tell the world, we're open for business. We'd rather do it sooner rather than later. There's not like a lot. He doesn't like to hide stuff. So I thought this was an interesting one when he was asked today. Take a listen here. When he was asked, do you feel like you need to add more picks? Kind of like your scenario of trading down for a couple of those second-round picks. And this was his answer.
No, I feel really good at where we're at. If that happens, that's great. If we have less, that's whatever we need to do to kind of accomplish what we're setting out to do and improve our football team.
He even addressed there. Notice how he voluntarily threw in, if we had less picks, that's okay too.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm in. You guys swayed me. I'm in. Let's get a stud.
I have felt all along like nothing would surprise me with him. He's been very, open about stuff without telling you stuff. He will be honest with you. And I think he's shown you that he's willing to move up and he's willing to move back. He's willing to stay right there. I think it's all on the table. But if they've got a board of guys where they all have them, they have 4 or 5 guys as blue chip guys and quarterbacks are gone, I think they stay at 9. I think most likely stay, second most likely move back, and I think moving up would be the third most likely option for them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just excited. I'm so excited for Thursday night. This is going to be fun. New era. Feels like everything's going to finally go in the right direction. I'm going to be cocky all summer long. No way will that bite me in the butt. No way have I done this before.
No, it's
going to be awesome.
Yeah.
What do you know? Danny was all hot and bothered upstairs. He's like, hey, save something for next week, too. First of all, he doesn't like that they're announcing the stadium plans a day before the draft. So
I agree with him.
Okay.
It's so stupid. It's so Bears. Like, this is the Caleb Williams week. Why are we doing this on Wednesday before we draft Caleb Williams?
I mean,
why?
Can't we do 2 things? I mean, in the same
No,
week? Why not?
We have proven time and again we cannot do.
I think it's what you got to rewire yourself as a fan. You should be able to do both.
Ryan Poles isn't building the stadium.
Right.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Sylvie's right. You're wrong, Waddle.
What's that?
No, I'm on Waddle's
Poles.
side.
If Ryan Poles had a shovel in his hand, I'd be like, this is going to be the greatest stadium ever.
Oh, so you're saying my point was that Kevin Warren's doing a separate thing than Ryan Poles.
Kevin
they can
Warren's
do
not
2
in charge
things
of the
at
draft.
once.
Right.
I'm not the biggest fan of Kevin Warren. We've had some beef in the past.
Oh,
with
really?
The Big Ten and the COVID.
Oh,
the
you
COVID,
have.
The COVID.
Oh, the
The
COVID.
COVID.
Not COVID.
Personally. He doesn't know who I am, but I
bet he does.
I would like an apology.
Everybody
I just like an apology. If he apologized to me, I'd feel a lot
Was
better.
this about shutting the Big Ten season down
Yes.
originally?
Yes, it's all about that.
By the way,
I'll tell you guys a funny thing. There's a charity golf outing coming up in a couple months, and he's going to be there. I'm going to be there. They asked if I would introduce him. I said I'd rather not.
That's awful frosty on your behalf.
First. I'd rather the apology.
So did you officially turn it down, or are you making an announcement right now that you are turning this down?
No, I'm going to the event. I'm going to be I don't. Again, he doesn't know who I am, so it's not like it's a one-sided beef.
What do you mean he doesn't know you? They asked you if you can introduce him. So
he doesn't know that.
Oh.
I think that your Bears vibes are colliding right now. I think it has to be all good. I think you got to let bygones be bygones.
What do you think? An apology is all I need.
Okay.
If he comes up to me at this golf outing and he says, "Hey, you know what?
Good?
I was wrong. It is just the flu." I'd be like, "Thank you. I appreciate that."
Jeez, I mean, Aaron Rodgers just walked in. My goodness.
That's all he has to say.
Listen,
what are we expecting for the stadium? What are we expecting?
Well, here's the deal, right? Everyone's got the bar set so low for this franchise because of previous, behavior. Like, we should be able to, as an organization. I got the front office over here. Ryan Poles and his guys are in charge of the draft, and they're going to do a really nice job. I got Kevin Warren over here. He's the president of the organization, and he was hired for a lot of reasons, one including to build a stadium. He's going to do this over here. Why can't we multitask? Are we the only team in the National Football League that's not capable of multitasking? Come on.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But so, answer me the question. What do we think? Is it just it's going to be a dome by the lake? Are they going to figure out what my concern is like, where the heck are the Bears going to play for a couple of years here?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
Like,
we play Northwestern? Are we playing their practice facility too?
Yes, we're going to erect a one of these fields like Northwestern's doing somewhere at a park. In Grant Park, I think we should put some stands up.
That would be a massive erection. No pun. No pun intended.
The Bears are going to play the next 3 seasons at Lane Tech. I wouldn't be shocked.
That's great.
That would be awesome.
Look, I believe 1,000% this thing's going to be done on the lakefront. I am still 1,000% for building it in Arlington Heights.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
I
not
mean,
agree more.
like, I'm not going to. At some point, you
that
just
ship
throw your
has
hands
sailed.
in the air. Of course.
Yeah, that ship
You
has
throw your
sailed.
hands in the air and say, okay, all right, this is the way it's going to be. But again, if you ask me my preference, it would be to go up there on that beautiful piece of land and build paradise. Over here, I'm sure they can do some really nice stuff. I just don't know that you can accommodate all of the fans' needs here the way you could up there. But
okay, yeah, I agree.
What's on your wish list? Like, you traveled all these stadiums. What is your number one thing when after Kevin Warren says he's sorry to you and he says, Big Cat, what do you want at this stadium? Well, I'll give you one thing that you desire, one wish, one stadium wish. What are you wishing for the stadium?
A winning football team. So that's why it doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't really go to NFL games because I have to work. I don't really know. I mean, I guess the dome will be nice. I would like a retractable dome so we can keep it open in bad weather. That'd actually be my one wish. I want the retractable dome.
You want
use
bear
it
weather?
reverse.
You want it open in December.
Right. I want to close in September. I want to open in December.
sadly, you're not going to get it because they've been adamant about the fact that the cost is like 100 to 150, maybe 200 million more to do it, and they don't believe it's worth doing. So they just completely have ruled that out.
They
already.
said fixed roof.
I don't want to pay for it either.
Wow. As a homeowner in Cook County,
and in Chicago, you're a Chicago resident too.
I'm not sure you're going to be able to escape that, big fella.
Do you know what they should do? The Bears, you know what they should do? They should get, if they came out, this is how I'd be all the way in. They come out and they're like, all right, here's our plan. We're going to put $1 billion on UConn to win the national title next year, and then no one has to pay for it. And I'm like, great.
They are saying, Big Cat, that they're going to put $2 billion of their own private equity into this project.
Nice. So nice of them.
And
so nice of the billion-dollar corporation to come to the table for the stadium that's going to benefit them.
But it's going to be publicly owned, so they're going.
Yeah, I understand. But the franchise is going to the value of the franchise they're going to make back in 2 seconds.
Yes. No, I'm not. I'm not giving them any breaks here. And look, it's better than what the White Sox are proposing. They just want it all for free. At least the Bears are willing to kick in a couple billion for an added piece of the pie. But yeah, you're still going to pay for the majority of it.
Yeah. Did you see, Sylvia? I finally did my full Jerry Reinsdorf rant because after Friday night, we obviously didn't make the playoffs. It's just crazy. This Bulls team, I don't even know if I was rooting for them to make the play. We talked about it last week, but it's a joke of an organization at this point.
Explain what you tweeted out about the Bulls and who they really are.
Yeah, so Jerry Reinsdorf has done a great job. He's done a great job of letting people just live in nostalgia. And Michael Jordan's the greatest player of all time, and those Bulls teams are the greatest teams. And it's been nothing for the last 25 years. They got lucky in the Derrick Rose lottery. It was the second longest odds ever in a lottery. Shaq was the only one that was longer. So they got lucky in that. And then other than that, they have not tried to build a championship team. Their goal is to put people in the stadium. His quote where he says that it's not about winning championships, it's about playing important games at the end of the season. That tells you everything. And I went back and I looked, and so in the last 9 seasons, the Bulls have made the playoffs twice. They've won 3 playoff games. They have more playoff wins, the only two teams that have less playoff wins than the Bulls in the last 9 seasons are the Magic and the Pistons. The only team with less appearances in the playoffs in the last 9 seasons are the Kings and the Hornets. The Bulls are not thought about in that realm of I know the Kings have been good the last couple of years, but like the Hornets, the Pistons, the Magic, they should be in that realm. They are a joke of an organization. They are in the bottom of the NBA, and all they care about is winning an average amount of games. I went back and I looked since Derrick Rose got injured the first time. If you take out the 2 Jim Boylan years, which were jokes of years, the Bulls have averaged exactly 41 wins a season. That's all they want to do. They want to have you think that they are putting out a competent, good team that could win a championship when there's never a chance to win a championship. They don't want to tank because they don't want to lose their attendance, which, again, this is an indictment, I guess, on us as fans that 9 out of the last 10 years, the Bulls have led the league in attendance. We will show up, but it's time to start realizing that when you think of the Chicago Bulls, people think of Michael Jordan, but really in the last 25 years, we are no different than the bottom of the NBA. And Jerry Reinsdorf has been able to trick us all into thinking it's something different. We need to have a come to Jesus moment and be like, it's not. This is what we are.
Well, what do we do? Like, because like we said, you have young kids, I have young kids. They want to go to basketball games. I grew up loving basketball, and I attended some horse crap Bulls games with Reggie Theus and David Greenwood, and then Orlando Woolridge, well before Michael. And it shaped how I loved basketball with 5,000 people. So, like, I've never been one to say, hey, let's boycott the team. So, like, beyond that, well, like, and you saw, like, the play-in game attendance was spectacular, and it was an awesome crowd. Like, we're itching, we're thirsty. Everyone wants a playoff environment again. So how do we as fans get what we deserve?
I don't know the answer to that, and obviously I never would blame fans. We're passionate fans. We want a winner. I'm saying more that we have to just spread the message that the Bulls are a bottom of the NBA franchise because that's the trick. That's the illusion that Jerry Reinsdorf has put out there that we're not that. But if you look at the numbers, that's exactly what we are. So it's like as long as we can keep breaking the illusion and putting the pressure on them, that it's like you are selling us one thing and we're something completely different. That's all I can think of is just telling people because I have pride. You have pride. I don't think of the Bulls as a bottom of the barrel NBA franchise, but if you look at the numbers, they are.
They are.
So you got to kind of have to come to grips with it and talk about them in reality and what they are. And what they are is a team that is not serious about winning. So that that's all I can think to do is to just not give them any credit where it's undue for the last 25 years of being like, oh no, they're trying to win championships. They're not.
They are.
To at least admit that is, I think, a little step in the right direction.
They're unembarrassable, if that's even a word. You can't embarrass them.
Right.
Like they're not embarrassed by anything because of the reasons you mentioned, because they can point the finger to the fact that you had a raucous, sold-out crowd for a play-in game against a Hawks team that was vomit bad. It was 10 games under 500. That is a horrible group defensively. And they're going to sit and tell you, look, we're without 2 or 3 of our best players. You know, we were a game away from entering the postseason. Like, you can't embarrass them, unfortunately.
And they look up at the rafters. They're the banners. I mean, this is something that White Sox fans obviously know and live every day, where it's like you have one season where you win a World Series. Does that then make it so that you can just run a non-serious organization for the rest of time?
Yes.
That's what it feels like. So I'm frustrated. I got to the point where I was just like, I can't say that we're something that we're not at this point. Like you have to come to the realization that I want a good basketball team so badly, but Jerry Reinsdorf and company do not. They want to sell tickets. And you have to say that to people so it gets through their head.
Meantime, I'm taking my youngest to the Cubs game tonight. I want to know I want to know what the record you're showing currently. Are you in or out on Kyle Hendricks again?
I was there on Sunday with my son.
How long did you guys make it? How long did you make it?
We made We made it to the 7th.
Nice.
So
That's
we're
progress.
stretched now. Yeah.
That's progress.
Big time progress. Real nice dad moment where I had my son, the 50-50 raffle lady was at the top of our section, and I made him go and tap her on the shoulder and tell her that Dad needs to buy some tickets.
How many we buy?
That was nice.
How many we buy?
$300 worth.
Nice.
And my son's a mush. He hit the print button, and we lost. So
So you're 0-1 now with your son hitting the print button.
with my son hitting the print button. Kyle Hendricks, that was a better start. I mean, I'm staying consistent. I think
You're a
that
softie.
once Justin Steele comes back, he can't be in the rotation. I think you have to give him the grace of figuring it out, whether it be a DL stint or bullpen. I don't know. You can't just DFA him. I'm not down for that. I love the guy. But it was definitely he didn't cost us that game fully, is what I would say.
Sounds like you're back in.
Yeah, he's in.
No, I'm not.
He's
I'm
totally
not
in.
because it was one start. He's had 4 or 5 bad starts. He had one decent start. It wasn't even that great of a start. But like at least guys weren't just. Hey, there was that one home run that was just a rocket to center field.
Oh,
the other hits were not hard contact. So I'm at least a little optimistic about that. But I think you're gonna have a decision to make, and it's gonna be a tough decision when.
Wow.
When Steele does
Are
come
you
back.
listening to yourself?
That's what I mean. He's confusing me because
Yeah.
he sat me down last week. Sylvie, you're avoiding
Yeah,
this.
no,
You're
he can't be
avoiding
on the- he
this.
can't- All right, Sylvie, he can't be in the rotation anymore.
There you go.
Okay.
That was
See,
easy.
that's-
Wasn't it easy? You just
Yeah, it was.
clean break.
I love him.
You just
I
sat
love
there
him.
and tried to say, well, the first home run was a bomb. The second one wasn't such a bomb. Like,
Yeah. No, you only gave up one.
But it was a rocket.
it was a rocket. That thing was a
It was
rocket.
absolutely smoked to center field.
All right, what are the Bears seriously going to do at 9?
Yeah. Who's your guy?
Come on,
Who's your guy?
Who's
Give
your
us
guy?
a prediction.
Let's play Who's Your Guy? Who's your guy?
I'll take Roma Dunze.
All right. He's my guy, too.
Do you see him and Caleb
Yeah.
Williams were on the same flight to Detroit?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What are the odds?
And Caleb tweeted about it, and then Rome retweeted him because I don't know if you
So what
remember.
happens if we don't draft Roma Dunze? Do I bring this up next week and I'm like, Sylvie, what happened to that flight?
Yeah, that's fine. Of course, you can bookmark it. That's fine.
Bookmark it.
That's fine.
Yeah, I Roma Dunze would be awesome. I also wouldn't hate Joe Alt. Like,
Neither would
give
I.
me, yeah. Like, if you tell me that we're just going to have a bully offensive line, great. I'm excited no matter what happens on Thursday night.
All right, Big Cat, great stuff. Safe travels to Detroit.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, thanks, boys.